So, very good morning to all my dear students. I welcome you all into the Industrial Pharmacy 2. And in Industrial Pharmacy 2, we are on to the Unit 4, the Quality Management System. While studying the Quality Management System in yesterday's lecture, we had gone through the concept of quality, that what quality mean, what are the different aspects of the quality, what are the different principles, and what is the total quality management. In case of total quality management, we are talking about the quality, and that too all quality, that too total quality. Now, while studying the total quality management, today we have to discuss some of the aspects associated with the TQM, along with the 7 different tools that are used in order to assess, in order to measure the quality. So all these are said to be the quality assessment tools. There are 7 different tools. Now, before directly going to these 7 different quality measurement or the quality assessment and the analysis tools, we must understand the different elements of the TQM. So the TQM that will consist of the element like say leadership, employee involvement, and the product excellence. So the ultimate goal, ultimate aim is to get the product that is with the zero defect. Ultimately to get the product with good quality, or to have the product or to have the process with quality only. And in order to get this quality, there is a need to involve all the employees, right from top management to the workers or the employees who are involved in the process of manufacturing. So leadership, that is the element which is associated with the top management, its vision, its planning, and the support. Employee involvement, that will consist of the all employees. They will assume the responsibility for inspecting the quality of their work. And product or the process excellence, that will involve the product design quality and monitoring the process for the continuous improvement. So that is ultimately the aim. There is a need to go for continuous improvement. The processes, they need to be observed, the problems, they need to be addressed, and all these problems that should be solved, that should be overcome, that should be rectified in order to continuously improve the product. A concept that recognizes that quality improvement is a journey. What it is, the quality improvement, it is a journey. It is not the destination, but it is the journey. That means it is the never ending process. Continuously we have to involve at all these stages in order to get the quality without any errors, without any defects, with no ends, and that there is a need for continuously looking for new approaches for improving the quality. When it is said that it is journey, that means it will consist of a roadmap, and that roadmap doesn't have the ending, right? So that is what is the mean. Customer focus. Again, this is one of the element in case of TQM, that is the fitness for use. Let us say, for example, if there is a pen, if that pen is not smoothly running, then we cannot say that it is fit for its use, right? So it should run smoothly. It should not require much pressure in order to write the letters, or It should not release the much link so that the paper that will get spoiled. So that is what is said to be the fitness for use. And in order to get this customer focus, that is the fitness for use, we have to design the quality and we have to conform to that of the quality. The quality design that consists of the specific characteristics of a product that will determine its value in the marketplace. There are different brands of the pens, but out of these different brands, which pen is running good or which pen is doing good? That is the design quality. Conformance quality. It is the degree to which a product that meets its design specifications. Implementing TQM. Now, there is need to go for successful implementation of the TQM that will require the total integration of the total quality management into day-to-day operations. The causes of the TQM implementation that will lead to the different failures, like say the lack of focus on the strategic planning or the core competencies, obsolete, outdated organizational cultures. These are responsible for the failure in order to achieve the quality. Or if we are not going to be adopting, if we are not adhering to the new inventions, new technologies, new approaches, again that will make the product to go out of market. Just in order to discuss, we had a specific example of Nokia. The Nokia was the market leader once upon a time, but as they had not adopted the new trend of the smartphones, the Nokia that became outdated, it had been washed out of market within no time. Same was the case related with the HMT watches, right? Hindustan Machine Tools. Once upon a time, again, it was the market leader with the qualities, but they could not able to adopt the new trend, and because of which they became washed out or they get outdated. They became outdated, and their market or their sales had been totally collapsed, and the company has been closed down. There is a need to implement the TQM. Now, for TQM to be successful, the organization that must concentrate on the different key elements. Now, these key elements are in the form of integrity, ethics, trust, training, teamwork, communication, recognition, and leadership. All these are important. Integrity is required, right? Collaborative work culture is required. Ethics, what is correct, that only should be done. Any kind of malpractices, cut practices, cheap market strategies should not be done. Trust, one should trust into the employees and their capabilities. Training, the staff that should be properly trained. Teamwork, the staff should be cooperative, collaborative, and they should have the proper communication in order to work in a team. Recognition in the form of say giving the quality, and in the form of getting the feedback from that of the customers, and last but not the least, that is the leadership. So again, all these elements are most important in order to achieve, in order to get the quality. Implementation of TQM, the key elements of TQM that can be divided into four different groups according to their function. Now, if we will see this as the home, right? So this home has the roof, like say communication, that will be considered as the roof, the recognition, motivation of the employees, the building mortar will be the communication to that one. The building bricks of this home of TQM, that is the leadership, teamwork, training, integrity, and ethics. and the foundation is the integrity, ethics, and the trust. So the whole TQM process that is based on integrity and its ethics as its foundation. It will consist of the bricks of leadership, teamwork, and training. It has the roof of recognition, motivation, and it has the building mortar, like say the communication. So collectively, all these they will gives the quality. Now there is a process which is said to be the process management statistical process control. Now, what this statistical process control? The process management that will require the planning and administrating the activities that are necessary to achieve high quality in business processes, and also identifying opportunities for improving quality and operational performance, which ultimately leads to the customer satisfaction. The process simplification that will reduces the opportunities for errors and rework. The processes they are of two types, value added processes and the support processes. The value added processes those essential for running the business and achieving and maintaining competitive advantages like say design process, product delivery processes. Support processes, these are those that are important to an organization's value, creation processes, employees, and daily operations. The value creation processes, these are driven by external customer needs, while support processes are driven by the internal needs. To apply the techniques of process management, a process must be repeatable and measurable. The process owners are responsible for process performance and should have authority to manage the processes. Owners could range from high level executive to workers who run a cell, assigning owners that will ensure the accountability. Now, again, this is the process management, the graphical representation, performance versus time. The control is the activity of ensuring the conformance to the requirement and taking corrective action when necessary. There are two reasons for controlling the processes. First is the process control methods are the basis of effective daily management of processes. And second is the long-term improvement, which cannot be made to a process unless the process is first brought under control. The short-term corrective action should be taken by the process owners and the long-term remedial action should be the responsibility of the management. There is an effective quality control system that will include the documented procedures for all the key processes, a clear understanding of the appropriate equipment and working environment, methods of monitoring and controlling critical quality characteristics, approval processes for equipment, criteria for workmanship, written standards, samples, and maintenance activities. The process improvement that requires the customer loyalty that is driven by the delivered values. The delivered value is created by business processes. Sustained success in competitive markets require a business to continuously improve delivery value. To continuously improve the value creation ability, a business must continuously improve its value creation processes. Continuous process improvement is an old management concept dating back to 1895. However, those approaches were mainly productivity related. More recently, in 1951, the Toyota implemented just in time, which realizes that the zero defect and hence the continuous improvement that is needed. Now, in order to get the quality, in order to assess and analyze the quality, there are different tools in order to improve the process, in order to improve the quality. And these tools are said to be the 7 QC tools. In that, there is a flow charts, there is a check sheets, there is a histograms, there is a Pareto diagrams, and there is a cause and effect analysis along with scatter diagram and the control charts. With the correct implementation of the 7 TQM tools, almost 95% of the quality related problems that can be solved. So there is need to use all these QC tools in order to get the zero defect product. And these are check sheets, histograms, scatter diagrams, control charts, run charts, Ishikawa diagram, and the Pareto diagram. The check sheets are what? Check sheets, these are the simple documents that are used for collecting the data in real time. A check sheet is typically a blank form that is designed for the quick, easy, and efficient recording of the desired information, which can be either quantitative or qualitative. When the information is quantitative, the check sheet is called the tally sheet. Histogram. A histogram that will divide up a range of possible values in a data sets into the classes or the groups. For each group, a rectangle is constructed with a base length equal to the range of values in that specific group and an area proportional to the number of observations falling into that group. Scatter diagram, the scatter diagrams, these are used to present the measurement of two or more related variables. A scatter diagram does not specify dependent or independent variables. Either type of variable can be plotted on either axis. The scatter diagrams, they will represent the association, not causation between the two variables. The control chart, they will consist of the central line, that is the CL, and by having this control line, there is a UCL and LCL. UCL is the upper control line, LCL that is the lower control line. This is just same as like that of the concentration curve, isn't it? There is a therapeutic concentration, there is a maximum effective concentration, and there is a minimum effective concentration. So it should remain onto this control line. It should not cross the upper control line and it should not cross the lower control line. Lower and upper control lines that indicates the threshold at which the process output is considered statistically unlikely. Run charts. Run charts are similar in some regards to control charts, but do not show the control limits of the processes. They are therefore simpler to produce, but do not allow for the full range of analytic techniques supported by control charts. The run chart, that is the measurement against the progression of time. Control chart, that is the add upper control limit and the lower control limit to the run chart. This is the Ishikawa diagram. Now this Ishikawa diagram, this is also called as the fishbone diagram because of their shape, or you can say this is just like a fishbone. This is the Ishikawa diagram that will helps in identifying the root cause of the quality failures, and that will helps in the diagnostic journey. So the Ishikawa, that is also called as the cause and effect diagram, and are often consist of the four generic heads, like say the four M's, like say machine, manpower, method, and the material. Here, in order to do the analysis, the problem or the effect has to be written. Then the horizontal line has to be drawn to that effect, and then the different causes they should be studied. And by asking the question, why machine is not operating, why the manpowers are not working, why the methods are not implemented, why the material is not giving the results. So just by asking such kinds of questions, we will be getting the solution, we will be getting the answer, and we can go for getting the quality in the form of the zero defects. Then there is a Pareto diagram. The Pareto diagram, that is also known as the Pareto analysis, and the purpose of the Pareto diagram is to highlight the most important set of factors among a typically large amount of causes for a problem. In order to develop the Pareto diagram for a specific process, the knowledge of frequency, relative frequency, cumulative frequency, and the percent frequency that is needed. The Pareto diagram, it will says that most of the time the 80% of the problems, these are because of the 20% causes, or the 20% causes that will lead to the 80% problems. So if we just go on working onto these 20% problem, we can go for removing the 80% problems, or the just if we remove the 20% causes, we can remove the 80% problems. It can be noted that the three defects of out of dimension, poor surface finish, and loose joints that will account for 75% of the rejections. There is a quality as a function of time and a method. As it has been said that the quality, it is the process and it is the journey and it is not the destination. So because of that, if we just see over a period of time since 90 onward till 2020, there is a continuous improvement into the process of quality in the form of the inspection, in the form of the implementing the statistical processes. The inspection was the in the 30th century, in 1930th, and between 1950 to 60 there is a statistical process control. 60 onward, between 60 to 80 there was progress and the work was on to the improved design. Then the quality through the design concept was there before 2000, in around the decade of 1990s, and in 2000 onward the total concentration that is onto the TQM, that is the total quality management. So this is what is the journey in order to get the quality, and ultimately the quality that is most important. There are some of the other tools other than the all seven tools which we saw just now. The process map that will identify the sequence of activities or the flow in a process objectively, which will provide a picture of the steps needed to accomplish a task, which will helps all employees, they should understand how they fit into the process and who are their suppliers and the customers. They can also pinpoint places where quality related measurements should be taken, and also called process mapping and analysis. They very successfully implemented in various organizations like say Motorola, reduced manufacturing time for pagers using the flowcharts diagram. The graphical components of the regression analysis often used to point out the relationship between the variables, and the statistical correlation analysis that is used in order to interpret the scatter diagrams.